One of the greatest achievements a realtor can have is to be Realtor of the Year, and today's guest has done that a few times. Joining us in studio is Collin Cote with ERA Reardon Realty. Thanks for being here, Collin.
Hi, thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, now remind me, Realtor of the Year, how many times have you received this?
This is the second time. I got it again 10 years ago was the last time, and didn't ever think I'd get it again. But
yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's an award that's given to you by your peers, and there's some pretty stiff criteria for that.
Yeah,
Tell us about
it's partially, the biggest one is you're involved in your community. You're involved in the association at a state and national level, also along with local, and that you have to sell a certain amount of real estate also. And so the combination, it means that you keep busy.
Yeah, well, you are an exceptional realtor, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of your involvement with our association. But talk to us about your community involvement. You've done a lot of that.
Yeah, I've been the president for Habitat for Humanity for the last 3 years. I've been involved with them for the last 7, I believe is what that is. And I'm really proud of all that. I think Jackson Habitat has done a lot of nice things. We've built some houses, plan on building more. I see them going a lot farther in the future. They're going to keep doing stuff. And then I've been teaching the MISTA class at Community Action Agency this is my 12th year of teaching that, and I teach the realtor section, and it's one Saturday a month for about an hour, one Saturday a month, but I've been doing that for 12 years. So I enjoy doing that.
Good for you. You shared a really great success story with me from that program, so it really does work for buyers.
Oh yeah, that people, if you go in there and people that don't have any credit or this and that, if you stick to their program, they will get you to a point where you can buy a home. It might take a year, it might take 2 or 3, but if you stick to the program, it will. And people that have went through the program and got a home, but if they keep listening and keep in touch and let these people check your finances and help you with all that, you'll do better. There's stories I've got of people that have done that and went on and got a nicer house and all that and moved up, and it's really changed their life.
Right, started in a starter home and just kept going up from there. So yeah, that's a great program locally.
Yeah.
Community Action Agency, puts that on.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Jackson Area Association of Realtors, you are the president there, and this is your third time in that
It's my third time being president, yes. Once again, I feel lucky to do what I do, and I enjoy it. And it's, it has a lot of benefits. I get to speak to other presidents. That's one of the best things I do is when we travel and I talk to other presidents around the state and other presidents around the country and compare our associations. And we're very lucky to have our association. Is really our executive officer, Melissa T., who runs it, is very good. She's well respected all around the state and around the country. And so, but meeting with all these people and hearing their issues and realizing they're the same issues that we have, and how they handle them and how we handle them and compare notes, and the networking is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense. Other communities across the country, we can learn from each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's one of the best things about it.
Well, let's take a step back. If someone isn't familiar with what our local association does, Jackson Area Association of Realtors, how would you kind of define that?
Well, all the realtors in the area pretty much are involved in it, and we have the MLS system. People hear about the MLS, they will look, and if you go on any of the other sites and you look for your houses, well, those houses all indirectly come from our MLS. They're put out to all these sites, and the MLS is what a big part of being involved in the association. We have a lot of education and a lot of classes. Realtors, people don't realize how many classes we have to take and we get to take and all that to keep up on things, and the part of it. And then we keep track of the code of ethics, and we try to enforce that and make sure everybody's playing right in the sandbox together, that we all play nice and get along. And the education part is really good, because I tell people I've been doing this for 20 years, but I still feel very green because everything changes all the time.
Sure.
And just because you've been doing it, the worst part is if you've been doing it 2 or 3 years and you think you know everything, well, you don't, because it changes. And the education that the association gives everybody the opportunity for is really good.
Yes, you and I talked about that a bit off camera, that a lot of folks don't realize realtors have to get a lot of education every year. It's mandatory.
It's mandatory. We're required to get it.
Yeah.
And then part of being a successful realtor is getting extra education and knowing and knowing how to use it, because there's people, if you get the education, you still have to know how to apply it to what you do.
Yeah, definitely. And there's so much to develop yourself professionally and just keep climbing in this industry.
Yeah, and it changes right now. There's a lot going on that causes it's going to all change how everybody does business too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, so we wanted to tap on that just lightly. The National Association of Realtors, the settlement that we've all been hearing about in the news. Tell us a bit about that.
So it is going to change how everything is done. And my biggest thing on that is we're still working a lot of that stuff out, how we're going to do it locally, how it's going to be handled nationally. But tell everybody, just trust your realtor, listen to your professionals. We're getting classes on how to handle that. It's going to be a little bit maybe sketchy at first and how it's going, how things are, because it is a big change. But trust your realtors, trust the professionals, and know that we're going to try and do the best job we can for everybody.
Right, absolutely. And ask your realtor any question that you have, because they really are the experts. And like you said earlier, realtors abide by a code of ethics set forth by the National Association of Realtors. So it's, you really have a lot of code to follow.
Yeah, and we do that, and we'll check everything out. And it's important. It keeps you on where everybody tries to do their best they can for their clients. I know that, but you have to do it in the proper way, and the way that's fair to everybody. Everybody gets a fair shot at everything, and that's the important part, is that everybody has the same shot at everything that there is. Right,
so definitely someone could trust their realtor. They're abiding by a code of ethics, they're working for you, and so trust your realtor.
Jackson's lucky that we have a good association here, that we offer a lot of education. So because of that, I feel that we have an abundance of very good realtors in this area, that you can't hardly go wrong with whoever you choose.
Yes, I definitely agree. And one of those realtors is you. We haven't even spoke about how you work with buyers and sellers.
Yes, I do that. I've worked with a variety of people. When I first got into real estate, everybody said you had to have a niche, and mine was, I like doing hunting land. I have a website that said I sell hunting land. And then that was before the market crashed, and one of the first things to crash was recreational property. So I realized after that I had to rebrand myself, and I became the realtor that did everything. So I do a little bit of everything. I go all over. As it is right now, everybody goes farther than they used to. I work a lot in about 6 different counties. My office is in Brooklyn, in downtown Brooklyn there, and I've enjoy being there. Obviously, we work in a resort area because of all the lakes. We have 57 lakes in that area, so I'm very familiar with lake property, listing and selling and all that. And I still like hunting land, and vacant land is still one of my favorite things to do. I grew up on a farm, and I can tell you the difference of the value of land just by looking at the dirt, because it makes a difference in what the land is valued, the dirt and the trees and all that. So I enjoy that.
So you're the expert there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you love working with first-time home buyers too, which I think is incredible.
Yeah, because, partly because they're going to be second home buyers too down the road, although some of them I sell them such a good home that the first time find a good home, and I tell them, well, this is going to last you until your kids get out of high school. I know that you're not moving. And so, but I do like with it because it's a challenge, and they are very appreciative of getting that first house, because it wasn't easy on a lot of them. They had to go through a lot of sacrifices to get it, and it's an effort, and it's something that they don't understand. And I like taking the time to explain all the steps to them about, and then showing them houses, and to look at why this house is a good fit for them or why this house is not a good fit for them. This is important when you take them through a house, and I tell them, and they kind of like it, and I say, but it really won't work. Think about what you're going to do or how you're going to live in it. And that's the important part. One of my favorite things I always tell everybody, when you're looking for a house, think about where you park your car, and think about where the kitchen is, and imagine carrying groceries in and out from there all the time, because you don't ever carry in just one bag of groceries. And it's one of those things that people don't think about when they're getting a house, and I always try to point that out. And I always tell, not a reason to not buy a house, but if you're between a couple houses, we'll think about which one is going to be the easiest for you to live in.
Yeah, just making sure they don't miss any step that they might consider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great information. If someone is interested in buying or selling, how could they reach you?
They can call me. My number is 517-812-0035, or they can contact ERA Reardon Realty and ask for myself and all that. They call on the Brooklyn office. I'm out there a lot, so it just depends. There are different ways to reach me.
All right.
A text is always great.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for this information, and
Oh.
congratulations on your award.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate that very much.
Yes. If you're ready to buy or sell a home, give Collin Cote, Realtor of the Year, a call.